In this tutorial, we will be talking about our Student Learning Management System, our LMS, Learning Management System. It is Moodle. So Moodle is used for a variety of things. Teachers do post material in terms of notes, course outlines, be it if you're even on a face-to-face class, you're highly likely to meet an instructor who will post material in Moodle. And if you're taking online classes, this is where the magic happens. Every single thing from notes to online sessions, this is where everything will be taking place. Now, there's a couple things to note. You cannot have access, or you will not have access to Moodle if you have not registered for classes as yet. So the first thing you need to do is to go to the student gateway. There's a tutorial on that, and register for your classes. Thereafter, our systems sync automatically 2 times for the day, midday and midnight. It creates an account for you, and it sends you credentials that you can see on this email here for Mr. John Doe. So John Doe has registered for classes in this instance, and then the system, let's say he registered for classes in the morning, the system would have synced at midday and it would send this information. If you register for classes after midday and at the student gateway, then you would receive this after midnight. However, as IT personnel, we can always do manual syncs in case of emergencies or anything of the sort. Nevertheless, when the system creates an account for you, it automatically sends an email to your school email account. Remember, your school email is for everything relating to Galen. So here we have, hi John Doe, a new account has been created for you at Galen University, online distance learning, and you have been issued with a temporary password. Username JDoe is typically the first portion of your email. In this case, John Doe's email is jdoe@galen.edu.bc, so his login will be jdoe. There is a password there. I'm gonna copy it in the event I need it. So by default, as for any system, you have to change your password when you log in for the first time. So to start using Galen, you can log in at the link. So we can click it, and you will see the login screen we had seen earlier. Bear in mind the URL for this is odl.galen.edu.bc. So our username is jdoe, and I have copied the password, so I'm gonna type jdoe. Apologies, we need to remove this. The password. There's a few things to note. Our current system uses reCAPTCHA version 2. So version 2 is one of those systems that helps us prevent automated attacks on the system. So it asks you if you're a robot. Ideally, well, if you're human, you're going to click I'm not a robot. If it's the first time you're logging in on a system, it's bound to ask you to select these puzzles for stairs, for stoplights, motorcycles, things like that. Sometimes if it detects you're on a, let's say, a system that might be compromised, it might give you some stronger and harder puzzles to solve. In this case, we're gonna select all the stairs. Keep in mind, if you do this on your computer, Google will learn that it is your computer, you're signed into your Gmail, and it's bound to not ask you for these types of things. We're gonna verify. So now it says I am not a robot. Hopefully in the future, the Moodle system will allow for reCAPTCHA version 3, which will minimize and totally remove the necessity for selecting those squares. But for now, we have to do that. So after I type my username, my password, and I'm not a robot, I can click on login. Since I am a new user in this instance, I need to change my password. One thing you must bear in mind is exactly what it says here. The password must have at least 8 characters. including one digit, one lowercase, one uppercase, and one special character such as an asterisk, minus, or pound. So I'm gonna paste my current password, and I am going to create a new one here. Keep in mind, if you're not following this, it's gonna bound to ask you the same thing again. Sometimes it allows you to log in, and if it didn't save the new password, then you will have problems. You'll need to reset it if you forget what was your current password, because it does expire. We click on Save Changes. Says the password has been changed. If it did not give you this message, it was not changed. So we click on Continue. Now, here's another important thing to note. In red here, it says you are currently in the grace period and may not have enough factors set up to log in once the grace period expires. Go to User Preferences. We can click it there to check your authentication status and set up more factors. Your grace period expires in 6 days, 23 hours. So Galen gives you 7 days to set this up. If you keep ignoring this, you're bound to forget, and then you will be locked out of the system and you will have to email support. There's 2 ways to access this. You can always click on User Preferences here, or you can click on your name, Preferences, and again, multi-factor authentication preferences. It's just different ways to getting there in case you missed the error message. For instance here, if I had clicked Dashboard, then the message would be gone. So I just click John Doe, my name, Preferences, multi-factor authentication preferences. Now here we are. I'm gonna click on App Setup. You can give this device label any name. I'm just gonna call it Moodle 2FA. And this code, we need to scan it with our Authenticator app. If you have taken a look at the tutorials that are based on Gmail, you already know which Authenticator app we use. It's much simpler, much easier. That's the Google Authenticator. We can use that with this. And then once we scan it, we can enter the code that's generated on your phone. Of course, I'm gonna have to pause on this video and I'm gonna show you on my cell phone and then merge the clips together. So assuming you already have Google Authenticator app installed, we could easily open it. But if you have not, you can go to your Play Store if you're on Android, or your iOS App Store if you're on iPhone. This is an iPhone, so be it on whatever device you have, you could simply search for Authenticator app. And it is the Google Authenticator, so the one there with the that says Google Authenticator, you would have to install that. In this case, I already have it installed, so I'm just gonna open it. You can see I have some codes being generated. Both of those are for email. One is for the tests in the videos that you have seen. So now I am going to add the code for Moodle, in this case for John Doe. So I'm gonna hit on the bottom right corner the plus sign, and I'm gonna scan a QR code, and I automatically scan it. You see there a new account appeared. It says Galen University Online Distance Learning, and it's generating some codes. So once I have scanned the code on my Authenticator app on my mobile device, I can enter one of the codes that's being generated. In this case, I have 145798. Once I enter that, I hit Save Changes, and you can see that it says that Factor Authenticator app Moodle 2FA successfully set up. Don't worry about the IP address. This really depends on a lot of things behind the scenes, but just ensure that it says that it's set up. If it's only one phone you've used, well, then that will be listed here. So now, even if I move around, even if I click on my name, preferences, multi-factor, it's already set up. So now if I was to log out and I enter my username, I enter my password, I hit I'm not a robot. If you notice, I was not greeted with the puzzle box anymore because we already did it on this device, and well, we're still logged in. So now once I click login, apologies, I may have typed a wrong password. Okay, there we go. So now it's asking for my two-step verification. So I need to go back to my mobile device. I won't be showing that here. Just ensure you open your mobile device, open Google Authenticator, and enter the codes that's generated under Galen University Online Distance Learning. Remember, these codes change every minute. I hit continue, and there we go. It allowed me to access Moodle. So this is what Moodle looks like. Typically, you will see announcements right here. You will see courses. We keep courses we have way from 2019, but don't worry about all of that. The main thing you want to do when you log in is you already registered for classes. You will hit dashboard and you will see your courses listed under course overview or recently accessed courses. This is just a demonstration account, so I did not list any courses under John Doe. You can filter your courses based on the overdues, next 7 days, next 30 days, all of these things. Course overview would be showing based on those filters. You can normally see who is online over here if they have allowed you. And you have a variety of links. You have the Galen website. If you click on it, it takes you to the website. You have the student gateway where you will be registering for courses. There's a tutorial, Galen email, library, calendar, and of course IT support. So this is what Moodle typically looks like. Once you've set up your Moodle account, you should be good to go for the rest of the semester. And as always, if you have any questions, feel free to email support@galen.edu.bc. Thank you.